Hello dear students, for today's lecture we are going to talk about the general structure of a short story. And firstly we need to talk about what a short story actually is. And in fact short stories can be anywhere from a page long to 30 pages long, and all of that is considered a short story. They usually are brief narrative. They have just a few characters and relatively simple plot conflict, and some sort of actions lead to climax, and there is normally conclusion. But the important thing that you have to put in your mind that novels are different from short stories, because novels are drawn out, they are chapters, and short stories can be read in one setting. So, in order to know the meaning behind these stories, you need to know their structure. We have 5 elements that are used to construct a short story, and knowing these elements help you determine where the story starts and stops, and what is the type of conflict that the characters face in the story. These elements can be summarized as a characters, setting, conflict, theme, and a plot. In fact, the characters could be people, animal, or things involved in the plot. They can be just like talking animal or fantasy characters. Whereas the second element, which is the setting, it implies the time of the story and the place where the story takes its place. Conflict is the third element. It is the main problem the protagonist is trying to solve. It is something troubling or bad happening in the story, and it is usually resolved at the end of the story. But we have to demonstrate or distinguish that we have different kinds of conflict. It could be man versus man, man versus society, or man versus himself. Just like the protagonist is fighting against himself to find a solution for his problem. Theme is the fourth element. It means what the author wants you to know or to learn from the story. If the story has moral lessons or social issues, and these themes or issues are not stated directly. They have to be guessed or concluded by the readers. Finally, we have the plot, and the plot consists of the rising action, climax, which is the highest, the exciting part of the story, the highest point of the story. Then we have the falling action, when the protagonist completes the action. The problem has been solved. Then the characters are prepared for the last phase of the story, the resolution, and this happens when the character reflect on what they learned of the story. So these are the main elements that are used to construct any short story. Thank you for your attendance, and please have a general look at our first short story, which is The Happy Prince. Thank you.